made at the Douglas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or your current balance is $48.78. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording of my call. I'll make this real brief. I need for someone that can do a search for letter of credence, C-R-E-D-E-N-C-E, letter of credence for communicating diplomatic rank. Also, if there's anyone local in Omaha that can contact the Ponca, P-O-N-C-A tribe, they might be willing to help. They might be able to see that assisting me, the ambassador for another Indian nation, gaining recognition would assist them in getting recognition for ambassadors for their nation, as well as the fact that I am also a part of an international court called the Universal Supreme Court of the Chilcotin, which is in the Chilcotin Indian Nation. It's an international court that does all Aboriginal cases for people of Aboriginal descent, and people can go to this court. And although the United States Attorney says it's a, quote, made-up court, well, it's no different than any court created in this country. It is created by an act of the Constitution for the Chilcotin Nation. So it is as effectively legitimate as any other nation's court. It's recognized in other countries as such because the Chilcotin Nation has adopted their own constitution, which allows them to generate their own courts, and they're recognized by the Vienna Convention and the Montevideo Convention. Montevideo Convention Article 3 recognized their right to develop their own courts and determine their own jurisdiction. So it is not a rogue court, it is a legitimate court. And this is the problem that these people have down here, is they think that they're the only game in town. Somebody is, no other courts in the world and no other nations of the world matter. That's the mindset of a sick puppy, and that's what we're dealing with, a bunch of sick individuals.
Hey, Mike, while you were talking, I looked up on Wikipedia and I found a sample. Let me just read to you real quick. Wikipedia, and I don't like Wikipedia all the time because sometimes they really get it wrong. But here they say a letter of credence is the instrument by which a head of state exercises his or her power to appoint ambassadors and ministers to foreign countries. There's a sample that I found. Here's a sample letter of credence. Dear Prime Minister Harper, the government of Norway wishes to appoint Marcus Ovskin as an ambassador between our two countries. He has been an upstanding politician in our country for a long time, and we believe he will do a good job filling the post. His responsibilities will include 1. Verifying that all trade issues between our states are handled professionally and without corruption. 2. Upkeeping relations between our two countries through weekly meetings and formal dinner parties. We hope that you will accept Marcus Ovskin as an ambassador between our countries. We believe this will be the first step in establishing a long-lasting relationship between Norway and Canada. Sincerely, Sven Carlson. I don't know if that's a real one or just some high school guy wrote it, but that was the first. Yeah.
It may very well be a legitimate real one, and if I can get a copy of that, I would appreciate it. The letter doesn't have to be that complex or that long. There's no set standard form. It's basically an introduction of who the ambassador is and a request that they be accepted for purposes of being the representative of the state from which they're coming from to engage in diplomatic relations. So, but I've gotten no response from the letters that I've sent, and it could be that maybe I'm getting it in the wrong hands, and I'm going to try some different things. I've sent you a letter just the other day. Hopefully you will have it by Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, and just to let you know, too, the CD that you sent me, I took all of it, put it in one long file, and the whole thing is called Tyranny Crusher version 2 by Mike Parsons, and the whole thing's up on YouTube on one video.
Okay, and basically that's the CD that I got from the court that was a copy of all of the hearings that I've been a part of, except for the one on March I believe it was the 15th, where they appointed this attorney, Don Shinzy, to represent the defendant, which when I first got in there, I said I didn't consent to any of what they were doing. I don't, know this guy. I've talked to him, and I have not yet made a determination whether or not he's capable of counseling me. And I'll go ahead and tell you, the guy scheduled 4 different times over the last 2 months to come visit me that he didn't show up. He's only shown up here to see me on 3 occasions, and each time it's as though he's never, not once, not ever given me any counsel. Not one iota of counsel has he given me. Not one idea of how to defeat this, no direction, nothing. The questions that I answer are asked that I ask, like, what form of court is this, that I've never been able to get the court to answer, or the prior public defender. He skirted around it. I said, what form of court is she operating? His response, well, there's different rules throughout the state. Different courts have different rules. The simple answer would be, it's an admiralty court, Mr. Parsons. It's a maritime administrative court. It's a this court, it's a that court. That's a straight answer. I don't get any straight answers from Mr. Don Shinzy. Though everybody that's used him, which is, I've talked to 2 different people, claim that he's a good guy. I don't know. I'm just certainly trying to, get this matter dismissed, get it behind me so that I can move forward as the ambassador of the Chilcotin Indian Nation and move forward with getting their natural resources developed so that we can put the nation's tribal members to work, and a lot of people from this country as well, to make a lot of money for both people on both sides of the border. And then they can get their children back from the Canadian government's Ministry of Child Welfare, where they're putting children in foster homes that turn out to be nothing but pedophiles, where they're trafficking in children for sex slaves, and they're balancing the books of the government of Canada by putting billions of dollars worth of taxes into their operation to underwrite the pedophile child trafficking foster program. And the whole thing is a racket. It's just a scam, and it's destroying too many lives. And, people need to wake up and see what it really is. It's a child trafficking system. They're profiting off the backs of the children that they're giving to pedophiles. They're paying the foster family $50,000 to have a sex slave. And in this country, at least in this state that I'm in Nebraska, nearly 50% of the kids in foster care report being sexually abused. Come on, people, wake up. It's child sex trafficking 101, and Mr. Don Shinzy has done not one iota thing for me, and I've asked him. I've left several messages, including 2 tonight. He won't answer the phone. He's had this case for going on 2 months. Tomorrow will be 2 months, and effectively he's done nothing. And when my father passes away, I asked him, I said, can you put in a motion that I be given a furlough so that I can go spend time and pay my respects to my father who's passed away? He said he would. Well, he said he had a conference call. No motions filed, just a conference call. And denied, poor you.
Yeah.
This is my father.
Yeah.
This is my father who I will never be able to see the rest of my life. And they don't give a damn about me or my family. They don't care about the children of the Chilcotin Nation. They care about concealing the fact that they're working a corporate scam over we the people. This is a corporation posing as government. It is not a government. It's a fraud, and it's destroying our lives through fraud. And they are criminals in the highest regard, and they need to be stopped. And until the people get off their rear ends and demand and raise Cain and go to the media and say, hey,
Mike?
their kids back, and in this country alone, anybody that speaks out is destroyed. They're framed, they're falsely accused, they're put in a cage of prison, or they're murdered, and nothing is said about it. And if that's not acceptable, maybe in a banana republic, but these are not our courts. These are administrative offices, and people, if you don't believe it, go out there and speak about yourself like I did. Stand out there and run for office and try to expose this and try to help people. See what happens to you. The Bundys were freed because of masses. We don't have masses working together. We have splinters, one here, there, yonder. We don't have groups of people going as a contingent force down to City Hall or going down to the state capitol or going to the federal buildings or contacting every congressman in their district and senator in their district or calling the White House saying, free the political prisoners. You got the political prisoners freed in North Korea. Now free the ones in this country. Free the political prisoners from the ranks that you're holding in this country.
Yeah. Come
on, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. They're saying that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is responsible for 9/11. That's a joke.
Yeah.
They had sheep herders down there in Guantanamo Bay torturing them, and now you got this woman that they want to make this head of the, CIA, and listen to the words that she's saying. We're not going to develop any new programs. Well, no, they're just going to keep doing what they've been doing, which is lie to the American people.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a fraud. They said, well, she looks like somebody's grandmother. It doesn't matter how you look. You look at the judge in my case, she looks like she could be somebody's grandmother too. But when she sits there and accuses me of evilness and says that I'm a threat to the community and I've harmed nobody, I've exposed corruption in government, and some lowlife shot at me and my wife and shot and killed my dog, and I'm yelling stop shooting, and somehow I'm a bad guy? And then I don't show up for court because I don't have a order that I must appear. The law's very clear. They have to tell you, you must appear or you shall be arrested and charged with failure to appear. They didn't do that because I had no obligation to appear. Otherwise, they would have done it. All the other times when I was given notice that I must appear, I was given a notice that for failure to do this will result in a crime and a charge and an arrest. They didn't do that this time because they didn't have jurisdiction over me. And as such, I had no obligation, but I sent them notice I'm not going to be there. How is it that you can get an 8-man FBI SWAT team to go out to arrest somebody for a low-level state charge? You don't. This is political at the highest level because they know that what I'm doing effectively exposes their entire child trafficking system that's going on in this country. And if I help get people in that country back on their own feet, developing their own resources, voila. In this country, guess what? You got natural gas and you've got oil that they're shipping overseas, that you've got countries like Queen Beatrice of the Netherlands, who owns Dutch Royal Shell, extracting our oil and at pennies on the barrel and selling it back to us at dollars per gallon. We're being raped. Our natural resources, which are ours, should be available to us and to export and sell, and we should be able to reap the profits. They don't like that idea. They like it so that the money stays in the hands of a few. Now, anybody that can do that search for me, please send me these letters so that I can try to create one on my own. Also, the Ponca Tribe's number is 402-738-3140. That's the local number. There's also the Omaha and the Winnebago, and there's a part of the Sioux Nation in the area. All of these people have a vested interest because once the Chilcotin Nation Indian Court is eventually, and it's not like the courts in this country. Their courts are secondary to the courts here. They've got an agreement apparently with Congress, and they just, their sovereignty is not really sovereignty. It's not recognized. And what we're doing is effectively going to help them develop their sovereignty. Also, is Mr. Lamb okay?
Mr. Lamb is moving in the right direction. He's going through some very painful, I think it's called rehabilitation, where they're moving him around, and he's got to have his foot reconstructed. It was crushed. So he's got a long road ahead of recovery, but he is moving in the right direction. He is alive, and he's got the prayers of many people across this country, including yourself and me. Thank you for asking.
Right. I am praying for Mr. Lamb daily, and as I encourage others to.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I sent 2 letters. Both contain the exact same information. regarding my credentials, my background, and what's going on, in hopes that either Mr. Drake could reach out to somebody at the prayer breakfast that's come and gone last week, and that perhaps Mr. Lamb would be aware, and maybe through the context that he has. All I need is recognition as the ambassador of the Chilcotin Nation. I would be freed, and Mrs. Parsons would be freed, and then we could go on about our ministry helping others.
Amen. Amen,
Everyone
Mike.
can help. Everyone can do something. Please help those people that you can. God bless. If you can donate to Rudy's site, help Rudy. He's paying for this phone call, not me. And at $4 a pop, it gets expensive. God bless you, Rudy.
God bless you, Mike. Have you heard of Republic Broadcasting Network?
Yes.
We talked about your case this morning, brother. We're doing the best that we can to make noise and shine light.
God bless you. Mike Rivero would probably take my case and run with it. I used to call him. I'm Mike from Tennessee. Tell him you.
Thank you for using GTL.
It's so challenging to get the full conversation in the time allotted, but these calls with Mike, they are very expensive, and they're just as expensive with PF Laser. It's $4 or $5 a pop. But nonetheless, we think it's worth it, and we're gonna do the best that we can to get these men's voices out. These are our brothers, right? And you may not agree with everything they say, but I don't think they should be in prison. I believe they have been targeted by a corrupt corporation, and I'm not going to just sit back and let this happen while I'm drawing breath. I pray that you also write them letters. You can donate to their commissaries. Mike said that, you should donate to me. Don't worry about that so much. Pick a prisoner and donate to their commissary fund. Write them a letter. Send them a book. Let them know you care about them. Send them a picture of a wooded area with a stream going through it. Let them know that they're not abandoned in a hellhole where people don't care. The Bible says we should love our neighbor as ourselves, and we're not to abandon our brothers in prison. And Mike is our brother. God bless you.